Hello world, this is Daniel from Nerds with Academy, and welcome to Season 2 of Massive Chalice, also known as my second playthrough. So I am gonna jump right into it.
It's taking too long.
Patience.
Patience? I don't see what patience has to do with this. This should have happened by now.
Life keeps to its own timetable, not ours.
Oh, it doesn't stop us from trying. Good morning!
Your ruler has risen. Rejoice, and let bellow the horns of birth.
Right! I know how strange all of this looks, but there's an easy.
Immortal protector of the nation, progeny of the great bloodlines, master of strategies, eternal conductor, and forger of matrimony.
We're here to advise you on how to handle ruling and commanding.
The horns of battle!
Every time. Fine, we'll have to do this later. The cadence is attacking. Heroes, jump in! Get in there! The ruler will be with you shortly!
And off they go.
We'll explain later. We just need you to take command, because our citizens, understandably, find it hard to trust a giant talking chalice.
We are not just a giant talking chalice.
But the nation will listen to you, because you're of their blood.
Forged from the bloodlines of the great houses.
Oh, and one last thing. Unfortunately, the bloodline ritual that was used to create you also bound you to us. So you can never leave the throne.
But do not despair. You can still command your heroes. Look inward, and you will find that your mind can follow them anywhere.
Luckily, I've already got a game set up with our core bloodline here, the Flügermeinz. So I'd like to thank Little Aya for submitting this bloodline and the traits behind them. And so the Flügermeinz are Alchemists, as we can see, and I'm going to read the description for you guys. So one of the most highly aggressive and battle-oriented houses. They value the strong and look down on the weak, both in battle and from the comfort of their keeps. They always go for power over everything else. Better to go down in battle than be weighed down by useless trinkets. Added difficulty, they can't use items, as in accessories, in battle, and they can't use regents with traits that weaken them, asthmatic, dim-witted, things that would lower survival rate. I'm gonna have to tweak the regent bit just slightly because I think the game has so many negative traits that I would never get any regents. So I'm just gonna say I have to pick the regent and partner with the fewest negative traits. And basically have the primary traits be, or the positive traits be secondary. So without further ado, let's get going. And oh, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for submitting Bloodlines. I randomed this one when I did a random roll this morning, and yeah, I'm super excited to get going, and I have a spreadsheet of everyone else's submissions, and so I may end up using them for other things.
If you listen closely, you might be able to hear your group leaving you behind as you line up that perfect shot.
Actually, the hunter will be in front of the group, stealthily scouting ahead.
Is that what they say they're doing?
Right. Okay. So I'm just going to get these. Let's just take inventory. So we have Cecil Rivak, a very handsome bald man here, who's puny, slow, and cocky. Could be better. And then we have our alchemist.
Found one of our alchemists. A brilliant mind in a delicate body.
Not worth much in a close quarters battle, but they make up for it with their nasty exploding flasks.
Just watch out for friendly fire.
The explosions are big, so aim well, or keep your heroes back. Trust us, you don't want to be on the receiving end of one of their concoctions.
So let's see. So we have House Flügermeinz as our hero to start with. So she has a sibling, which is good. She's hardy with Hawkeye, Avenger, but unfocused. So those are that's a pretty solid selection for an alchemist, and she's young. She also has a brother who's infertile, unfortunately, but that's okay. So it looks like Winara Flügermeinz is going to be our hero household, and so she's going to be the progenitor, as it were. Okay, so we also have Jacqueline Burnhelm. I think this is actually the Burnhelm. I wonder if this is... I know one of the developers was talking about using Burnhelm. I don't know if this is the same one, though. We've got a whole bunch of them, actually. They're bountiful, but clumsy, sickly, flinchers, and nervous. Okay, so I'm glad that you're bountiful and you can pass on all of these terrible traits to your children, Jacqueline. And finally, we have our caber.
This is a caber, Jack. They hit things with a caber. Sometimes they hit hard and put things down. Other times they hit not so hard and just knock things out.
That's all you're going to say?
Simplest way of life there is.
Caberjacks. Profound purveyors of violence.
Wow, the cabers. So we have Betty Crocodiles. Okay, I like it. So the thing with this playthrough, I actually selected both thematic and non-thematic bloodlines. So some of them are going to be a little bit awesome, like like Betty Crocodiles here, who is brainy, nimble, a slow learner, but wily. So actually a pretty solid caberjack setup there. So let's just see here. Let's just start with some hunter scouting here. I think I want to go to... Yeah, let's just go straight in.
There we are.
First catch of the day.
We can't tell you much about the cadence because not much is known. It's old, first sighted centuries ago, and it cares only for destroying our nation with its corruption.
That's where pawns like you see here come in. Think of them as attack dogs the cadence creates to spread corruption in the world.
Okay, so I just need to remember that I cannot lose Flügermeinz. Particularly because her... Actually, that's not true. I could... Even if Winara dies, I could still adopt a baby into the family, but her brother is infertile, so that's a bit of a bummer. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I'm actually playing on... this is now version...
Arguably the lowliest pawns are more nuisance.
Oh, shush.
But if you're going to remember one thing, don't let those runts form a posse. Keep them apart.
Otherwise it'll be like when caberjacks get together at a tavern.
Except not the best night of your life.
Let's see, actually, yeah, I want to just, see if we can get a good hit. A promising start to the game.
How about that, eh?
One down.
For the crocodile. Oh, I just wanted to say, this is actually 0.83 of the game. There was a patch release between when I finished my previous, when I finished Season 1 and this one, and so there have been a few changes. Let's see, shoot, I don't have it up. I know, like, Alchemists can now crit when they have relic weapons, and I know there were some other changes to Alchemists, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Let's see, speaking of Alchemists, just one square too far. Okay, well, let's just wait here then. Actually, I'm going to shift up my other Alchemists, though. Yeah, so this playthrough, I really want to focus on Alchemists and caberjacks, and so I think I'm only going to have, at most, one Hunter House, but most likely, yeah, so. But I want to have at least either 2 or 3 caber families, and then probably 1 to 2, probably 2 Alchemist families, so I'll probably end up with 6. I'm not sure, though. I could go whack this guy. Although, you know what? How about I go up here instead? And now I can have you do a nice free throw here. Actually, do a free throw here. Okay, Garrett, let's see what you got. Oh, so close. No problem. Okay. Jacqueline. Let's shift you over here and just see if you can... Oh, you have a free throw too. Only 40% though. Wait, are you the one that's... let's see here. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? No, let's do, let's see if we can get, Flügermeinz. Let's see if we can... Actually, you know what? Nah. Okay, Flügermeinz, this is your moment to shine. 40% or 71? Let's go 71. Ha! Rend, mangle, and distort. Yeah, I like it. I also love the I love the sigil that they have with the bear getting punched in the face and the bear is crying. It's pretty funny. I don't know. I just not that you shouldn't punch bears ever. That's a bad idea. That's only a 40% chance, but let's take it anyway. I don't want to take damage from this guy. There we go. For our flame. Move our caber up. Oops. Nope. We'll just shift up one tile. And then we also want to move our hunter. Hunter up. That's good. I don't think I've ever played this map before. I don't remember these giant gold bits, which is... It's always fun to play something a little bit different. I know the game has quite a few maps. I don't know the exact number, but there are quite a few different ones. Okay, Garrett. Looks not too bad. Nothing yet. Okay, Burnhelm. What was that guy's name? I can't remember. It was one of the other developers. Was whoops, you're a caberjack, not a hunter. So. Okay. Oh, there's one. I wouldn't doubt if there are a couple down here actually. So let's just sneak Garrett over here, I think. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. I bet I can throw stuff at him from over that wall. This is something that I didn't use very much, is the rotation in my first playthrough, and I'm going to try to use it a little bit more, just to keep things fresh. And oh, hi. Uh-oh, that could be better. Okay. Let's protect Flügermeinz. Let's see. I think, yeah. Let's stuff this guy up there. So, yeah, we're going to have a couple of these guys running at us, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem, especially if they line up. If they happen to line up, then I can... uh-oh. Oh, 5 damage, yikes.
That could have been avoided.
That could have been worse. At least they belong to heroic bloodlines.
Oh yes, we forgot to mention, normal humans cannot survive even a single touch from the Cadence. But because the bloodlines of your heroes are attuned to us and have our power flowing through them, they have a fighting chance.
I could go here and then knock this guy out. That's not a bad choice. Before I do any of that, I want to throw a flask at this guy, I think. There we go. Cleaned up that one. For freedom! Adam Garrett. Interesting. Jacqueline. Okay, let's see here. I want you actually to a 50% chance to slash. I'm gonna move my hunter away and just try and take the shot. I don't know if that's gonna work. There we go. Silence them all. That's pretty sweet. Let's see here. I want to move... I'm going to move my caberjack to here. And now I can either attack this guy, but first I'm going to try to get a free throw off with Flügermeinz and see if I can get a kill with her. And even before that, I'm going to move a little closer. Maybe here. So I have a 90% chance. That's pretty good. Promising start. And now this last guy is still too far away. Okay. So I'm going to hide her behind this pillar. And then I'm going to run up my other alchemist to about where she was. And you can hide over here too. I mean, take a strategic position. You're not hiding. We don't hide. Let's see. Let's go up here. Still too far, huh? 40% or coin flip? There it is. Let's go, Flügermeinz. I need to get you leveled up. Let's see. Could whack this guy. It's not bad. One of the things that I think about a lot when I'm playing this game is in XCOM, you often think about like having multiple guys that can take the shot if your first guy misses. So
that went better than I expected.
Well done. Well done. I knew you'd have a knack for this.
Huzzah! Our heroes have prevailed in the augurs. Corruption and growth in the region has been prevented. Excuse me. So yeah, we got Winara Flügermeinz, our hero, and she has 3 kills. We have Betty Crocodiles with 1, Adam Garrett with 1, Cecil Revok with 1, and Jacqueline Burnhelm with 2. And we've got a couple level 2s now, and a fair number of level 1s. So.
Right. So this is our nation, and as we said, we are not in the best of shape.
That muck you see surrounding us is the Cadence. It's what created the pawns, corrupted our lands, and is slowly tightening on us like a noose. But we do have one advantage.
Thanks to several enchanted materials that make up our body, we've been endowed with certain powers. One of them being a way to cleanse the Cadence from this world. It's really quite a miraculous process, wherein we harness the properties of...
The thing is, it takes a long time for us to charge up for this. A long time. All of the heroes you just commanded in battle will be long gone when we're finally ready.
With all that time still ahead, we need you to protect us. You will take charge of the nation, command its citizens worthy of becoming heroes, and ensure that the Cadence does not reach the capital.
Now let's check out that keep you just saved.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got, actually, yeah, I guess I have to go to our keep in the augurs.
The keeps. Bloodline forgers of the nation.
The stonemasons did good work here. I'll thank them later.
Here you will appoint 1 hero as a regent, and 1 as a partner. And the more experience they have, the more they'll pass on to their children.
That goes for traits and personalities too. Everything's game.
And keep in mind, assigning heroes to keeps retires them from combat. You can't have 1 foot at home and 1 in the battlefield.
Okay, so I pretty much here have to retire Winona Flügermeinz, and simply because I don't think that, well, he does have bare strength and he does have Avenger, but I think for lore reasons, if they knew he didn't have, if they knew he was infertile, he would not be able to be retired. Yeah, so I think we're gonna go with Winara Flügermeinz is our founding hero. Yes.
Now that your regent is appointed, it's time to decide on a partner.
Although this isn't an arrangement out of love, who knows? Maybe it'll turn into that.
We've seen it happen.
Personality, traits, experience, they're all important here.
But just because this is an arrangement of necessity doesn't mean you should reduce these heroes to a pile of numbers either. They deserve better than that.
Okay. So now again, I want to choose the partner with the fewest negative things, particularly ones that would mess up my gene pool and make them weaker. And so I want to I can't have things like slow or nearsighted. It's like Revok's out. Garrett is slow learner and a flincher, maybe. Like faint-hearted, I don't think that they would approve. I don't think the Flügermeinz would approve of faint-hearted either. Sobek Crocodiles is kind of a badass. That's not bad. Revok? Cocky but slow and puny. Nope. Actually, he has heart disease. They would not approve of heart disease. Let's see here. I don't know that they would actually know that, but... And being nervous and clumsy. I think Burnhelm's. Again, they're all nervous and clumsy. And Revok was out already. So Garrett is a flincher and slow learner. Flincher and faint-hearted. So Sobek is a pretty solid choice. And then Cecil is out. And then Garrett. I think I have to go with Sobek. I would actually prefer to retire him into his own family, but for lore reasons, I think that, yeah, I think that he's going to be retired into this Alchemist Flügermeinz family. That would actually be a good match if I had chosen the male guy, but that's okay. I will try to retire Betty Crocodiles as as my first Caberjack house. Right, so I decided on I decided on Sobek Crocodiles, who looks pretty sweet. I like the color scheme, and so he's quick, impressionable, and wily. So he's wily and quick. I'm gonna say that that's the good genes that he's bringing here, and mostly, honestly, with this guy, it's mostly that he's not bringing negative genes to the family. So I'm gonna go with Sobek.
Many happy returns.
Let's give the newlyweds some privacy, eh? It's a lot to take in, but you'll handle it, or your mind will become as cracked as our body.
You'll be fine. Now then, please join us back at the capital so we can show you some of your other responsibilities. And welcome back.
You are here, right? It's a little hard to tell if you're still in your mind's eye or whatever.
This is where your heroes return to after battle. From here, you may equip them with any skills or weapons they may have earned, as well as perform research.
Basically, we can devote some of our power to help the war effort and the nation. Whether it's building new keeps, starting a Sage Rights Guild, or a Standards Crucible. Fun stuff.
Okay. So, yeah, let me just take a look at my heroes again. So we've got Chris Garrett, who's pretty solid. The heart disease is bad. Jacqueline, it has some questionable traits. Andreas Cormac is a flincher and faint-hearted, but Hawkeye, so he's sort of medium bad. Adam Garrett is a flincher, particularly, again, I guess on an alchemist it's not as bad. Let's see. Then we have Oge Flügermeinz, the alchemist, who's infertile but Avenger and Bear Strength, so those are both good. Matthew Burnhelm, who is stalwart, which is good, and then clumsy, bountiful, and nervous. Cecil Revok is puny, slow, and cocky, as well as Kingmaker. Sarah Burnhelm is bountiful, clumsy, asthmatic, stalwart, lone wolf, reveler. Wow, she just has all kinds of fun things going on, doesn't she? John Burnhelm is bountiful, clumsy, quick study, and nervous. Betty Crocodiles, apart from having an amazing family name, she's brainy, nimble, slow learner, but wily. Pretty solid. A pretty solid Caberjack. And then we have, let's see, Daryl Revok, who is slow, nearsighted, but insightful. And we have Viraconia Shepherd, who's infertile, unfortunately, but tranquil, so she has increased accuracy. I also really like this, I like that sigil a lot. And then we have Sorcha Cormac, a Caberjack who is nimble, dim-witted, nervous, and a lone wolf. So we have some pretty terrible traits going through our family, or through our people, I have to say. And so we've got a couple Hunter Revoks, we've got a lot of Alchemists, and then maybe, what, three Caberjacks? 4 Caberjacks? So we've got a nice mix of classes.
Building more keeps is likely the most pressing option, as you'll be able to foster more bloodlines. But don't shun the other possibilities. With your approval, you can research weapons, potions, armor. If the amount of time required dissuades you from researching something, consider the Sage Rights Guild. Any hero who joins the Sage Rights will hasten the time required for any pursuit. They will never see combat again.
Keep in mind, most of our power is focused on charging up to cleanse the cadence, so we can only devote enough energy to research one thing at a time. That includes searching for new heroes. It takes a lot of effort to find people attuned with us, and it'll only get harder the more we do it. But choose whatever you want.
Okay, yeah, I think that building a second keep is probably the most important thing. I don't know... Let's see, actually, let me go back here. I think I want to do a Caberjack house next, so let's do by class. So really, actually, let's do by family instead. This is even better. So I think Betty Crocodiles is a reasonable person to install as a House Crocodiles. She's young and has, you know, a couple good traits. The decreased experience gain is bad, but the other 3 are good. And so I think she'd be a good choice. It's either that or the Cormacs, who have a pretty sweet logo and color scheme, but the 2 that I picked up are not great. Particularly the Nervous is a problem, because then you end up missing your knockbacks. Although Sorcha wouldn't be awful, I guess. That Nervous is bad, but actually I might do Andreas instead. I'll have to think about it. So yeah, I think I'm going to build a new keep first. So this is something that someone suggested, that essentially you go keep, I think it's keep, and then Sage Rights Guild, and then you just pack up the Sage Rights Guild to... You want to get a few bloodlines going first, and then get several Sage Rights Guilds to get as much of the research done as you can, and then Crucibles after that. I did see one post online talking about just building, I think it was like 5 Crucibles or 6 Crucibles, and the guy ended up getting level 10 heroes like around year 100, and so it was apparently pretty broken, but yeah, I think I'm going to go with a second keep here. Okay, so let's see, we've got, in the Pale Sea, we have a guild rate research boost. That's good. In the Cinderlands, we have increased fertility. In the Salt Stacks, all heroes gain a XP kill boost. In the Ebbet Marsh, the local XP, we have a local Crucible training XP boost. And then in the Augurs, we have a Hunter Dexterity boost. Okay. So we don't have anything necessarily for Caberjacks. That's unfortunate. However, we do have a fertility boost, which would be good, particularly because Caberjacks are going to be, well, let's just say under duress a little bit. So I think I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try a where do I want to put it? Give extra XP for kills. I think having more people at the beginning of the game is probably going to be better.
Oh, yeah, one more thing. The end of this war is not even a glimpse on our horizon yet, but your immortality gives us an advantage. The ability to step back and let time pass.
You can start and stop this timeline at will, but we'll also stop it for you should something require your attention.
Like a cadence attack.
That is a probable possibility.
Okay, here we go. Let's continue episode 1 with the Flügermeinz. Come on, give us some Flügermine babies. Come on, you know you want to.
The horns of birth. A cause for celebration indeed.
Babies have been born before today.
And it was glorious every time, was it not?
What, unbearable shrieking and smells that are even worse? That's your idea of glorious.
Yes.
Heroic children, known as trainees, are bound to the keep they are birthed in. They are trained by the Regent partner at the keep until they are 15, at which point they are transferred to the capital for active duty. Awesome. So let's see who our first baby is. Vulcan Flügermeinz. Who's brainy. Brainy is really good actually for an alchemist. Hawkeye is pretty good, and quick study. So Vulcan's kind of a badass. So that's a promising start. More babies? Yes. Michael.
It always feels weird accomplishing something without having beaten it into submission.
Should have seen my books after I was done with them.
Research complete. A new keep has been completed. Marry heroes together to start a bloodline. Okay, so this is going to be my Caberjack house, and so let's sort this by house name first. So really, I have two options here. I have either House Cormac or House Crocodiles. So let's see. Crocodiles is not bad. They're brainy, which is good because that means I can marry them into my alchemist houses. And nimble, again, doesn't affect them too much in this case. And slow learner is bad. Wily is quite good though, because it gives them additional evasion against melee attacks, which particularly in the beginning of the game, I'm going to be fighting lots of seeds, and so that's something that's good. So Betty is a very solid choice, I think. Also, they have a cool color scheme, and crocodiles are hilarious. So, the other options are Andreas Cormac, who has Hawkeye. Really, he doesn't have any good traits, I think. Especially for a Caberjack. Like the Hawkeye, you can see a little bit further, and Impressionable is neither really here nor there. And like Flincher and Faint-Hearted are only ever going to be bad. And Sorcha is just all kinds of trouble. So yeah, I think we're going to go with House Crocodiles. So let's do it. Betty Crocodiles, yep. Okay. So this is going to be the hard one, because now I have to decide to whom she will be married. This is hard because most of the other people have fairly negative traits. So, Burnhelm, let's see. Quick study would cancel out her clumsiness maybe, but the nervous is bad. But they are likely to have more children, and the children would be clumsy. That's sort of medium. Matthew has clumsy. Again, I don't really care about clumsy that much. And he instead would bring stalwart, which is good to raise the defensiveness. So they'd lose a little bit of accuracy potentially, but gain armor, which I guess is okay. So that's not a bad choice. Daryl. I can't have slow on my Caberjacks. It's too painful. So I'm gonna rule him out. Garrett. Flincher, that would take away the wily bonus that I have there. Again, Flincher is bad. Cecil. Again, slow. I can't have slow. Oh, and also puny. So yeah, you're probably at the bottom of the list. Chris Garrett. Heart disease, but bear strength. And Chris is older. He's at 41. And I think that when characters have heart disease, they tend to die around, 50. They are set super high to have children, though. And that bear strength is pretty enticing. So really, it's bear strength or stalwart and nervous. I think Matthew Burnhelm would be the second best choice. Because he has... The nervous is bad, but bountiful is good, and stalwart are good. Nervous is pretty bad, though. Or Chris, with the heart disease bear strength. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the heart disease, I think. They still have a super high chance for children, and honestly, he'll be dead in 10 years. And so if they don't have any children, then I can assign someone else. So yeah, Betty Crocodiles, Mary Chris Garrett. Looks good. Do we want another keep? I think we want a Sage Rights Guild? Or do we want a third keep? Do we have any heroes that we would want to put in a third keep? I think we want the Burnhelms. Clumsy, asthmatic, stalwart reveler. I could do a House Burnhelm. None of them are particularly great. Yeah, like Matthew Burnhelm is okay, and Sarah's actually solid too. So yeah, I think I'm gonna build a third keep and then go Sage Rights Guild. And this one, it doesn't necessarily matter where we put it, and so I want to put it somewhere. Let's see. I think actually putting it here is the correct choice because there's no real value to me. Actually, no. Let's see. Local guild research rate, or should I put it here? All heroes cadence kill XP boost. Does that affect everyone, I wonder? Or only people that get trained at that keep? It says all heroes kill. You know, I'm gonna try it. Let's build the Burnhelms there, I think. Any babies? Babies? Crocodiles? Ah, we got a little baby crocodile. Hang on. Arvesh. Okay, good. He got the bear strength and he's nimble, but so far he doesn't have the, what was I worried about? He hasn't shown the heart disease. That doesn't mean he doesn't have it or have it recessively, but so that's good. Yay, babies. Ruh-roh.
Finally, some action!
As you have no doubt surmised by now, it takes time for the cadence to create its pawns, so they're only able to attack every few years. Unfortunately, you cannot fight back multiple incursions at the same time. Our primary focus is charging up to destroy our enemy, and we can only allot enough of our energy to send out one group of heroes at a time.
Pawns don't last long outside of the cadence either. So even if you win one battle, it'll be too late to fight the other.
Choose wisely, and
blow the horns!
And so here we go.
Yeah!
Thank you. So let's see, my options are we are going to be fighting ruptures and lapses, or seeds and ruptures. And I get 2x experience for each enemy killed. So I'm going to have to decide which one to defend. Neither region has any corruption, and neither they have the same reward, so really just what do I want to fight against, and that's probably lapses, I guess, or seeds. I think I might actually defend down here. But anyway, this is a good place to end for episode 1. I am glad that I finally got season 2 rolling, and I want to thank you guys again for all your submissions and all your support through season 1. But yeah, so I'm really excited to keep going through season 2, and I'm glad that we got House Flügermeinz going, and also that Caber House, the Crocodiles. So anyway, until next time, this is Daniel from Nerds with Academy.